Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Greetings from Uganda. Once again, my name is Edna Kasozi, and I work with the Personal Data Protection Office in Uganda. I'm so happy to be here today, and I'm truly, truly honored by this invitation. Once again, thank you. And wow. So today, I would like to appreciate heads of data protection authorities and all the delegates from across East Africa and beyond, and all other representatives to this conference. On behalf of the Office, Personal Data Protection in Uganda, it's an honor and a privilege to address you today. And allow me to once again commend the government and the people of Kenya for organizing this timely conference, and to thank once again the organizers for creating this platform that brings together policymakers, regulators, innovators, thought leaders, and all actors across the region. This year's theme, the value and vulnerability of digital public infrastructure, speaks directly to the defining policy question of our times. And today we once again meet at this moment, a pivotal moment in East Africa's digital journey, to share brilliant ideas. We all came from different spaces, and I do believe we are going to take these ideas back home. So, yeah, I would like to believe that across the countries where we're coming from, digital technologies are transforming public administration, financial services, healthcare, agriculture, education, and trade, and more. So, from mobile money ecosystems, e-commerce platforms, digital identity systems, and smart city initiatives, data now underpins nearly every sector of our economy. Am I right? So it fuels innovation, drives efficiency, and enables new models of service delivery that were unimaginable just a decade ago, or even less. So through these foundational systems, like in Uganda, we have what we call the National Identification Registration Authority. We have the National Payment Ecosystem led by the Bank of Uganda, and the integrated government platforms under the National Information Technology Authority, Uganda, where Uganda has seen digital public infrastructure can expand financial inclusion. It has streamlined public services and strengthened accountability. And similarly, these transformations are unfolding across the borders of Uganda. So, data is not merely an economic asset. It is something that is now deeply personal. It's the new oil. Am I correct? So, it's actually a human data set, and it must be respected. So this is why data protection and digital governance must not be an afterthought. It must be embedded by design, and I hope we all agree to that. So as regulators, as policymakers, our challenge is to strike to ensure, to be deliberate, to balance, to enable the responsible use of data for development, while safeguarding the fundamental right to privacy and protecting individuals from harm. In Uganda, the Personal Data Protection Office is still working to operationalize and strengthen the National Data Protection Framework through guidance, through compliance, monitoring, public awareness, and collaboration with stakeholders across the sectors. And we've achieved and seen encouraging progress, greater awareness among institutions, growing compliance efforts by businesses, and increasing engagement from the citizens, who now begin to understand and exercise their rights. We are also, however, aware that no country can effectively govern data in isolation. So data flows seamlessly across borders. Cloud infrastructure is regional and global. So digital platforms are, operating across multiple jurisdictions, and think tank solutions developed in Uganda and beyond to serve customers beyond the borders of Uganda. So in such an environment, fragmented or inconsistent regulatory approaches can create uncertainty, increase compliance burdens, and underpin trust. So we need to work together to harmonize one voice that we all need to appreciate, to speak, and apply by design, not just across the way. This is why regional dialogue such as today is so critical. East Africa and beyond has for some time demonstrated the value of regional cooperation in trade, infrastructure, economic integration, and more. The economy must not be different. There has to be teamwork. So, and with this comes so many benefits and advantages. It facilitates trusted cross-border data flows. It strengthens regional digital markets, enhances collective cyber security resilience, and improves enforcement cooperation among regulators, and it lastly provides greater certainty to investment and innovation. We must also ensure that the harmonization does not dilute the sanctity and the protection of the citizens. So our citizens must remain at the center of our efforts, and data governance must be human-centered, rights-based, and anchored in principles of transparency, accountability, fairness, and proportionality. So as East Africa advances to cooperate identity systems, digital payments, data exchange, and AI-enabled public services, we must also pause to ask some questions. Who controls this data at the end of the day? Do we know? Who is accountable when harm occurs? How do we balance state efficiency with individual rights? So the future of data in our region will not be determined by technology alone. It will be determined by governance, the legal frameworks that we enact, the institutional frameworks we strengthen, and the regional cooperation that we are working so hard to strengthen. So as we continue to deliberate and, cooperate over the coming times, we need to focus on capacity building, regulatory coherence and collaboration, responsible innovation, public trust, amongst others. And we must also ensure that this data governance and all the frameworks support inclusive development. The digital divides remain a reality in some parts of the region, and as we strengthen governance, we must also ensure that rural communities, especially the women, the youth, the vulnerable groups, are not left behind. So once again, on behalf of Uganda, I reaffirm our readiness to work closely with all sister states, all regional institutions and stakeholders represented here today and beyond to build a secure, trusted, innovative, and rights-respecting digital ecosystem for East Africa and beyond. I also look forward to the conversations ahead and the networking, and to strengthen our shared commitment to secure inclusive and trusted ecosystems across the region. Thank you very much.